What if my spouse insisted that she wanted to be buried at Rookwood, okay, and actually put that in her will? But I disagree with that, and I wanted to simply cremate her. Am I bound by that particular will?
Well, as a matter of fact, you're not, George. Wills.
It's just more cost effective. That's all.
Typical accounts.
You are so tight, George. Wills are about property, and you can only enforce a will in relation to how it deals with property. Now, believe it or not, you don't have any proprietal right in your own body, and you can't. In any direction you put in the will about your funeral and all the rest of it, we put directions in wills about whether or not people want their organs used for transplantation, whether they want them used for medical research, whether they want to be buried or cremated, whether they want to have a civil ceremony or a ceremony according to a particular church. These are all guidance things. They're not enforceable at law, and that brings us back to the question of the choice of the executor. You want to choose an executor who'll do what you want, and where there's any prospect of a choice or a discretion being exercised, you want to choose somebody that'll do the right thing by you. I'll tell you a story. We had a dear pass away recently. Now, when I drafted the wills of her and her husband several years earlier, he said to me, I said, how did you want to be dealt with, Arthur? And he said, well, I want to be cremated. And I said, what do you want done with the ashes? He said, I want them spread on a nice piece of ground. And I said, Arthur, that's very vague. Can you be any more specific? And he said, no, just spread my ashes on a nice piece of ground. So that's what I wrote in the will. He passed away, and then a number of years later, she passed away recently. Now, at the time of his passing, I said to her, Arthur wants to be cremated, and he wanted his ashes spread on a nice piece of ground. And Tessa said, don't be ridiculous. Arthur is going to have his ashes spread at sea like me and our son and my mother all at once. And in fact, that's exactly what happened. She didn't spread his ashes on a nice piece of ground. On the contrary, she put in her will that her ashes and those of Arthur and their son, who tragically died before them, and her mother were to be disposed of at sea. And we spent an inordinate amount of time dealing with P&O, who did it for us, and who, I must say, were very, very good about it. Didn't charge us to do it, and were terrific. But back to the topic, no, those sorts of directions inside a will are not enforceable at all.